Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Shamshir Sound video. My name is Ali Nadem. Today's going to be a double upload day, so I'm going to be uploading a second video as well, so look forward to that. Today we're going to be talking about some technical stuff, and I want to talk about the importance of keeping a gap in front of the beginning of your track. And the reason for this, guys, is because I noticed sometimes when I produce tracks, especially with really loud songs, and dance music is naturally pretty loud, you know. This is my Paris Hilton bootleg, and if we take a look at the dynamics, you know, it's almost non-existent. All you see is a sausage, right? You just see a sausage.
A perfect sausage.
In regards to the beginning of the song, if you don't have a little intro, a little space, what happens is that the impact just comes way too fast, it's loud, and it can be a bit off-putting to the listener. And I noticed that a lot of other professional DJs and DJs that have been played by guys like Hardwell and whatnot, sometimes what they'll do is they'll either put a small space in front of the track, or they will even do some sort of back verb, you know, some sort of sweep. So to demonstrate this and the benefit of this, I thought, let me just take my latest remix, because I think it's around -6 RMS, and I made two versions of it, one without the intro and one with the intro. So we're going to listen to the difference between these two, and we can get an idea. So this is if we started right off the bat. You know, it goes right into it, and because it goes right into it, you know, our percussive elements, our kick, they're loud. It can be a bit like, whoa, you know. And sometimes, yeah, there might be tracks with like a little space. I'm going to show you guys two solutions what you can do, right? And the reason why this might happen, I tried to simulate it perfectly, but essentially if you render a track, right, and you turn off trim PDC silence, and you have a song and you rendered it, and let's say your song was like this long and you rendered it just like so, and the kick started right off the beat, that's what you will get. It's going to trim the initial silence created by plugin delay compensation, and you get a kick right on the bar, and that can be a bit off-putting. So let me show you guys what I did for the Paris Hilton remix. Check this out. How much more pleasing is that? I think I used a linear curve for the back verb, and just go with like a sweep. You know, if you're lazy, maybe just find some sort of cashmere sweep or some sort of effect. But that way the listener can gradually get into that loudness, instead of it just being like, listen to this difference versus this. You know, it goes right into it, and it is a bit off-putting. Now what you could do too is, let's say you don't want to create a back verb. When you render your track, guys, what you could do is you could say, you know what, let's pretend like this is just the song. You could say, you know what, I'm going to hit Control A and move everything like maybe like a half bar forward, you know, and that way you have a little bit of initial silence. And I do recommend to do that because it's going to create a little bit of a gap, and that's going to also, sometimes when you start right off the beat, like having that gap and moving your automation clips behind this, meaning like, let's say you have a whole bunch of automation clips, but let's say you have your automation clip and all your automation clips, let's say for instance it was like this, right? Let's say you had a whole bunch of automation clips and your track was ready to go, you wanted to render it, and you wanted to implement my advice. You would hit Control A, you would move everything forward. However, you'd have to be careful because now your automation clips are also just triggering right at that moment. So if they were at 0 and now they're at 100, you don't have like a seamless transition. So when I do that, I also take my automation clip and I make a little copy of it so it retains the values, so that the values going to the beginning of the track are reset accordingly. They're at their correct value. So A being, yeah, you can create a little gap for the track, however long, you know, don't make it too long, but you know, maybe like a half space or something. This probably would be too long, you know, if it was just empty, but you could get away with it if you do something like the back verb, which again is in this case I made it a really long one, basically like a whole bar there, but it does really good work. And I wanted to show you guys that when you do something like this, it can really have a really good effect. So before we wrap things up, I wanted to show you a couple of tracks. One is by Rios Identity. It's like a popular track on Revealed, and we can see when we zoom into these tracks, I just grabbed 2 tracks in one of my music folders. We can see that both these tracks actually implement the same thing, and I didn't actually listen to these yet at all. I don't know what it will sound like, but let's have a quick listen. Let's listen to this little part here. It's like a little sweep or something. You know, and still they implemented that as well, except it's very like subtle. And how about this one? Same thing. And you know, this noise might just be a little like noise floor from one of their plugins or something, but they still moved it forward is my point. They didn't start right on the beat. And let's take one more look. And if we take a look at Henry Fong, he did the same thing. This is an older track, Ganja Henry Fong remix. And if we take a look here, his track again, super loud. Like all these tracks are, you can see they're all sausages at the end of the day. But we can see here, same thing. So he has that little sweep in the beginning. And so that is going to play a big role, guys, in preserving like that nice impact of your initial song. Don't render the song such that you have no space at the beginning and you're rendering it like that, because I did that to one of my tracks recently and I didn't like it, because then when you press play on SoundCloud, it's just like boom, it just hits, and the listener has like not a little moment of like rest, a small period. And so it's a super small detail, but I feel like it's really paramount, and a lot of people are neglecting this detail. So definitely do that. Move it forward, put a sweep, or put some sort of reverse reverb, a back verb, whatever you want to call it, and that will help gradually transfer to the energy of your song, whilst also keeping ensured that there's no errors with the beginning of your track, because you've moved it forward and now you've slided automation clips 1 bar behind as well, like you've made a copy of them, and that will ensure that you have no issue. So I hope you guys like this technical tip. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to smash the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed and you hit that notification bell. I'm gonna be giving away another juicy sample pack at 1,000 subscribers. So thank you to everybody that has been subbed. And that is essentially a wrap, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.